remember when the intro looked like that? Darwinism at its finest, ladies and gentlemen. Today is March 30th, 2022, which is known by all Rawks across the world as the 2-year anniversary of Rawk. I'm finally 2. Yes, today marks 2 years since the beginning of the series. I started posting on the main channel 2 years ago today. 1 year ago on this channel, I posted a reflection of year 1, so let's post a reflection of year 2 today. Now right off the bat, I want to say that year 2 was infinitely better than year 1, and that's saying a lot considering year 1 was already incredible. As the second year of my channel began, I was already a fair way into Season 2, and I could already tell that Season 2 was gonna be better than Season 1, and spoiler alert, it was. Season 2 contains some of the proudest stuff I've ever made. That's not to say that Season 1 was necessarily bad. I'm still incredibly proud of everything that I made back then. But compared to what I've been putting out since last year, yeah, it pales in comparison. I don't want to spend too much time, like, blowing my own trumpet, but I think from the year 1 reflection video to now, you can see quite the drastic improvement in quality of my content, as well as just my own general confidence, which that's a personal trait of mine that has definitely been enhanced by Rawk being a thing. You know, this channel has helped me kind of find my voice, and I'm a much more confident person now because of it. And I get on people's nerves a hell of a lot more. I also think I've become a lot more confident in my writing and editing skills. But that's just kind of natural when you spend a lot of time writing, presenting, editing, all that jazz. It's still crazy to me to look back at some of the videos from the beginning of Season 2 and see that they were made over a year ago. That's insane. So there's a couple of things that I'd like to talk about in this little reflection of 2 years of Rawk. The first of which would be the general output of videos. I'm actually really happy with the pace at which I was able to upload content last year. Season 2 was a 36 episode long season, and I managed to upload pretty much every 2 weeks. And then during the summer, I uploaded every week. I still don't really know how I managed to do that, and what I understand even less is that for all of Season 3, it's been weekly uploads. What have I become? I'm really happy with the number of videos that I've been able to put out since that last reflection video. And I think I've learned a lot about scheduling and time management and just the general process of creation, and that'll be valuable information that I'll take into the future of the channel. I kind of know how to pace myself properly now when I'm making all of these videos. You know, I know exactly how long a production cycle will take. And if I need longer on an episode, then I start earlier. And a lot of the time I can do that without actually interfering with the production of any other episodes, which I'm really damn proud of. And I honestly think the stuff that I've uploaded in the past year, it is some of my best work. I know I said this, in the last video, but the stuff I've been making since then, it's so much better than anything I've ever made before. And just like last time, I'm gonna use the current season as an example. Season 3, I am so goddamn proud of so far. And we're currently only 11 episodes in. It's hard to actually put my finger on exactly why I think Season 3 is so much better than Season 2, which in turn I think was so much better than Season 1. I think it's just kind of a natural progression of all of the things that I've been learning from just throwing things at the wall and seeing what sticks. And given all of the interactions that I've had from all of you, you all seem to agree. My growth in year 2 was so much more substantial than it was in year 1, and I could not be more grateful for that. Every single person who decides to comment always has something nice to say, and that's honestly something that I really appreciate, because that's a way of letting me know what I'm doing, it's working. Because at the end of the day, the target audience for all of my content is me. I try and make things that I would really like to watch, and to see that there's other people that also like to watch it, it's an insane feeling. Speaking of insane feelings, let's talk about part 2, which is just all of the milestones that the channel hit this year, and amazing opportunities that I've had because of that. In terms of equipment, I upgraded. I have a microphone now, which is something that I went a year and a half without. Lord knows how I managed that. What I used to do was I used to just set up my camera on my desk and talk into it. And now I'm doing the same thing, but it's a microphone. Something that you're supposed to sit on a desk and talk into. And needless to say, having a microphone has made the production process so much easier. I genuinely don't know how I managed to attain consistency without a microphone, but I have one now. For anybody wondering, it is a Blue Yeti, and I love it. Speaking of things I love, I got a green screen this year, and I'll be honest, I'm still not great at using it. It's still pretty difficult for me to, find the correct lighting and the correct settings with the chroma key. It's a whole thing. And I also think that my hair being as poofy as it is can sometimes cause the image to be a little bit fuzzy around the edges. And also, I don't have a super high resolution camera. It's I think it maxes out at 720. It doesn't always look 720, I'll be honest. So there's a combination of things that mean that my green screening is not ideal. But god damn it, man, I love using that thing. I don't even really know why. It makes the production process a lot more strenuous and difficult, but I've just always loved the results. And I always have a load of fun when I have an excuse to whip out the green screen. And I will often make excuses to whip out the green screen. There have been quite a few episodes that very, very easily could have not been done with the green screen. They could have just been structured normally and just taken place on the normal set. But damn it, I wanted to use the green screen, and I did it. Editing me hated pre-production me for doing that, but post-production me loved it. I also completely upgraded my game room, which kind of means that I have a better set now. I toyed with the idea of changing the angle for Season 3. If you want to know what I was going to do it like, just see the beginning of the Year of Luigi episode. I kind of thought, why don't I use this as the angle? And then I thought, well, I'm a bitch. I need consistency. So that didn't happen. But enough about my equipment. Let's talk about some more human connections that I've made over the past year. One of the absolute biggest honours for me was when Josh Jepson commented on my limited releases video. I've been watching Josh since I was a child. I don't know exactly how young. Definitely too young to be watching Super Mario Sunshine Versus, but I was. And to have him, watch and then comment on one of my videos, that was such a surreal experience. And I know that Josh isn't watching this, but on the off chance that he is, thank you. And then, as if that wasn't cool enough, recently I was in a Game Explain video. I made Triss laugh with one of my tweets, and I made it into the video. It's insane. But would you believe me if I told you that neither of those two even begin to compare to 4 people that I highly doubt even know each other? On a number of different projects this year, I've been able to work with 4 incredibly talented people, and every second of that has been an honour. I think I'll go in order of when I actually worked with them here, which means that number 1 is Alan Riddick. I reached out to Alan in, I think, June last year, to see if he would want to, make some music for me. And to my surprise, he said yes. Even though he was open for commission work, I somehow had completely just thrown away the idea that he would actually want to make music for me. And when he said yes, that was that was a crazy day. And over the course of season 2, Alan made 4 absolutely incredible pieces of music for me. It's funny, the first one that I actually commissioned was the retro game ballad, which, can we quickly talk about the fact that I have a song? Like, never in a million years would I have expected that I would have written a song that then became an actual song that an actual musician worked on with me. It's an indescribable feeling. So yeah, that was the first piece that I commissioned, and it was the second last that actually was put out to you guys. I just think that's fun. Then, of course, the 2 variations of the Halloween intro song. It was used as the outro for the Color Splash episode, and then the intro for the Sticker Star episode. And Alan was really cool about that one. He made 2 variations, and I hadn't initially intended on using one in the Color Splash video, but they were both so good for me to only use one. So I found a way to use both of them. And then finally, the retro gaming credits theme, which I know I'm very, very heavily biased, but that has to be the best Gusty Garden Galaxy remix I've ever heard. And again, just the fact that a musician went out of his way to make music for me, and for that person to be Alan Riddick, of all people. What is my life? This is so cool. Alan is honestly one of the coolest, most kind-hearted people I've ever had the pleasure of interacting with. He is honestly just a ray of positivity, and the music that he creates is just on another level. And to be able to work with him for the Rawk OST, if you want to call it that, it was such an honor, and I'll never be able to put into words how much I appreciate that. So, Alan, if you're watching this, thank you so much for the opportunity. I really, really appreciate it. Next on the chopping block is Mick. Mick initially commented on my Banjo-Kazooie video, just, you know, saying that he discovered my channel and that he thought I was cool, and he would continue to comment on pretty much all of my videos from then on, which I really appreciate that. He's been one of my most consistent supporters, and I thought that was the extent of it. But then I thought, well, I need an extra voice role for Retro Gaming Christmas. Why not ask Mick? He said yes. I feel like a lot of what I said about Alan is about to be copy and pasted to Mick, because he's also just such a cool and down-to-earth guy. And even though I definitely haven't worked with Mick to the extent that I have Alan, it's still been such an honor, and it's been really nice to make acquaintance with him through the channel. Next up, we have Porgy Draws, also known as Evan French, part 1 of the Rawk rebranding duo. I had actually tried to work with an artist before Evan, and plans fell through, and that's fine. But I'm happy that I ended up working with Evan, because, my god, the artwork that he made for both the channel icon and the banner, it's literally perfect. It's everything that I was imagining when I was, when I was brainstorming this rebranding. He brought that vision to life so spectacularly well. And finally, Catherine Leiter, not Lita. I mispronounced their name in the Rawk rebranding trailer, and there has been guilt just overwhelming me ever since. God. For those who don't know, Catherine is better known as Piran Artist, which is something that I just refuse to be able to spell. Every time I try, it goes wrong. But yes, I reached out to Catherine at the end of 2021 for a new intro that I had been working on for a little while, like working on the concepts of. And just like Evan did, Catherine brought that vision of mine to life so perfectly. And looking back at like season 2 and season 1 with the old intro, it's really strange. I mean, obviously, the original intro was made by just me, with my very, very, very limited knowledge of editing at the time. And I was gonna make the new intro myself, but after seeing what Catherine had done, I knew that they were the perfect choice for what I wanted from that intro. And Catherine, along with Evan, who I actually forgot to say this about, I'm very sorry, they were both just so kind and pleasant to work with. And considering that this was the first time that I'd worked with an artist, an animator, and a musician, you know, all three of those guys were so very welcoming and really helped me through the process of kind of getting my ideas across to them and then having that transformed into a final product. It's still something that I struggle to describe because, again, it's the first time that I've worked with essentially a team of people to do anything, really. But the fact that they were all willing to help me to push my bitching about children games agenda, I am just so very grateful for that. And again, Alan, Evan, Catherine, just so very kind to me, and they were all a pleasure and an honour to have worked with. So at the end of the last video where I recapped year 1, I kind of talked about what my favourite video that I'd made up to that point was, and I was talking about how, you know, that was a very difficult decision for me to make. It is not a difficult decision this time. While I think everything that I've made since that video blows everything before it out of the water, there is a very obvious favourite of mine, and it's a retro gaming Christmas. This was an idea that I brainstormed since before the Season 1 Christmas special came out, and production actually started pretty much as soon as 2021 arrived. In fact, I actually think I started working on the intro less than an hour into the year. So when I say that I worked on this thing for a full year, it was a full year of production. And the final product was exactly what I'd envisioned it being. It was one hell of an editing task, but it was so worth it. And it was also the first time that I got to involve my friends. Seeing lines that I wrote being performed by someone other than me, that was a strange experience. But Kevin and Ryan, they both brought that script to life better than I ever could have imagined. And it feels really cool to have worked on this alongside two people that I've been friends with for most of my life. And we also had the return of Girlfriend McGee as the narrator, which makes A Retro Gaming Christmas the episode that had the most people who aren't me in it. We had Girlfriend McGee, we had Ryan, we had Kevin, we had Mick. And we also had, again, the wonderful musical talents of Alan. Seeing all of the pieces of the puzzle for that episode coming together, it was just a surreal experience. And it kind of felt like a magnum opus of mine. I certainly hope that I'm able to top it one day. I'm the kind of person who I enjoy continual improvement, so I'm hoping that the Season 3 finale is better than A Retro Gaming Christmas, but at the time of its release, and to be honest, to some extent even now, that feels like the peak of what I have done as a creative. I just can't really put into words how proud of that episode I am. And it was also the second video of mine to gain a substantial amount of attention. The 1,000 Year Door video got quite a lot of views, but I'll be honest, that's probably only because I interacted with Arlo about it. I say interacted with Arlo. I replied to one of his tweets. He did not interact with me. But Retro Gaming Christmas gained a lot of support organically, and to see all of the comments on that episode, especially from notable people such as Alan and H of the Stage, what? That was such a humbling experience. And after pouring my life into that project for probably over a month, it was really nice to see that people were enjoying it. So yeah, while it was very easy for me to pick a favourite episode that I've done ever, there were still some damn good episodes in Season 2. Sticker Star Halloween, that is a very close second to Retro Gaming Christmas. The rest of the Paper Mario saga, honestly, other than Origami King, I don't really like that episode. But it is what it is. Animal Crossing, that episode was hell to make. It took so long, but I actually got it finished before I wanted to, so go me. But again, seeing my ideas evolve from the script to the final product, that episode kind of, along with the Halloween and Christmas special for that year, they all encapsulate that feeling perfectly. And then, again, it's probably shiny new episode syndrome, but I'm just ridiculously proud of Season 3 so far, and hopefully it continues to be something I can be that proud of. Now, what do I have in terms of future plans? Honestly, a lot that I can't really talk about. Do I have a plan for the season finale? Yes, I've had the plan for this episode since before episode 1. There's a hint for you. Do I have plans for Halloween? You're damn right I do! Do I plan on working with friends and or other content creators for the rest of this year? Yes! All of the above! Do I plan on uploading even more videos than I did last year? You bet! Do I plan on taking on even more ambitious projects, some of which involve creative things that I haven't actually fully tackled before? Yup! Am I gonna end up really tired by the end of this year? Probably. But you know what? It is more than worth it, because Rawk, it's the thing that I'm most proud of in life. I pour my heart and soul into these videos, and I think I'm allowed to be proud of them. And if not, well, I'll take that life sentence.